My printers are busy making a lot of these. It's an army of Christmas gnomes. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog number 339 for November the 20th, 2023. I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I know for the Americans, you are looking forward to this next weekend coming up because Thursday is your Thanksgiving, Friday is Black Friday, and I know for Americans, the Thanksgiving holiday is a really biggie one. You do a lot more on your Thanksgiving than we do on ours here in Canada. But I hope you have a great time. I know a lot of you will be getting together with family and friends for the celebration. And it's kind of the unofficial beginning of the Christmas season. Hard to believe we've gotten to that in this year. Where did the year go? Well, anyways, I know what I've been up to, so let's see what that is. Bundles of Joy. This is the second place winner of the 4S Club collaboration. And that, if you remember, I put up 3 patterns for you to choose from to tell me which one you wanted me to do. And you all picked the one with the kitties on it. And that one, the top is all done, but I haven't got it on Lucy yet to quilt it. That's in my plans soon. And we'll be talking more about the 4S Club and seeing what Shannon, Stephanie, and Sean have all been doing as well. And we're going to be going live on Stephanie's channel on the first Saturday in December. That's coming up very soon. So we'll be talking about all our trials and tribulations. But since I had the one top done, I decided to do the one that came in second, and that's the Bundles of Joy. And you can see it's all bundles of fabric all wrapped up, kind of like when you go to the quilt store and you pick up a bundle of these. But anyways, I don't want to say too much more about this because I'm going to do a little deeper analysis tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter. And I'm also going to mention something I'm going to do that's not in the pattern for this quilt that I think is going to be kind of a fun addition. And you're getting a little sneaky hint on that if you take a look at those blocks that are off to the side that look like cats. But that's all I'm going to say about that. So let's talk about this. This was a relatively quick project. It's an in-the-hoop applique project done with your embroidery machine. And embroidery machines, I have told you this before, do so much more than just put a monogram on a towel, okay? And I'm really happy with the way this turned out. It was fun to do. It's kind of quirky. It's just fun. And it's a little wall hanging. So I got that all done, and it's sitting out with my other quilts and things. So when I start putting up my Christmas decorations, which I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to do this year, but this one for sure I will put up because, well, every year I have something new for Christmas that I've made, so I like to showcase it during Christmas time. And then it sits in a dark corner and never sees the light of day again for at least another year. Okay, and then that's not what I want to show you there. So I've been busy. I've got another project going too, and you'll probably see it next week. It was a quick one. And I'm going to talk more about that as well, possibly even show it. I don't think I'll have it completely done for tomorrow's Idiot Quilter, but I'll talk more about it tomorrow too. Okay, so that takes me to YouTube channel of the week. Now, this is one that Walter loves. He goes to it quite often. It's a cooking program, and it's called Chef John. And Chef John, one of the videos he has on there, if you've never heard of him, he has some really excellent videos about making food. And sometimes you need some ideas, right? And his are all very manageable, and every one that Walter has done has turned out, and they've been really good. So I thought you might be interested in this, so here's my review of that channel, actually of one of the videos on that channel. This week's YouTube video comes from Chef John. Chef John is a great source if you're looking for new and exciting recipes that use pretty much whatever you have in the house. And his recipes always turn out, we have found. This is one of Walter's favorite sites when he's looking for something new to cook for dinner. And I found this particular video on their site very good because if you've never checked out Chef John before, here's a chance for you to get a sampling of his best recipes. And it is a long video because it runs for over 2 hours, but you can sort of speed search through it. It's in sections. I believe he has a timeline listed below where each recipe is. If we just take a look in his show notes, I think it may be divided up. Yep, here's all his recipes. So you don't even have to watch the videos. The videos will show you how to cook these things, but you can go to these websites that he's listed and check it out. And here he's got the timestamps for where each of these things are done as well in the video. So really, this is an excellent source for getting your feet wet in some of his recipes. So if you're looking for ideas for dinner tonight, then check out Chef John's top 25 recipes of all time. So you will find the link for Chef John's top 25 recipes of all time in the show notes below. You will find a link, of course, for Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen every Wednesday, 9 a.m. I say this every week. I'm sure you're tired of it, but I've been getting new subscribers too, and, you know, we have to allow them into this as well. So, you know, I say it every week. It's a Zoom. It's in the show notes below. My friends' channels are all here. We have links to last week's videos. If you've missed them or are wishing to take a look again at them, then they're all there for you too. Okay, so let's take a look outside. And when I say outside, let's just take a look at the weather report. You remember how I used to do those pictures and everything? Okay, I gotta find it. It's here somewhere. I can't do two things at once. Talk to you and look for the icon that I need. There it is. Okay, so you do remember that for over a year, I was putting up each week a picture of what things look like outside. Well, they always look the same. You know, it's either bright or it's dark. Right now, it's starting to get a little lighter because it is morning. But I don't know about you, I get up in the dark. But that's not hard to do when you're in the northern hemisphere this time of the year. But anyways, I digress as usual. So here's the weather. Today is cold. It's minus 7 degrees Celsius. That's below freezing. For those of you on the Fahrenheit scale, that is, it's 14 from, let's see, minus 7 plus minus 7 is 14, and 30, it's about 54 degrees. No, that's not right. No, when you add two negative numbers, they become positive, don't they? Okay, I didn't intend to get into math, but anyways, it's cold. You can go online and do a conversion if you don't understand Celsius. But anyways, minus 7. That, I think, has been the coldest morning so far in this month that we've gotten up to. So, yeah, and it looks to me like it's going to be cold all day. It looks like the high is 1 degree above freezing, and it's going to drop down tonight. And looking at the 10-day forecast, Tuesday, well, it's going to warm up during the week up to, it looks like, as high as 7 degrees C. And the low for this next week looks like today is the lowest low. Okay, we are moving into winter. We have to keep in mind, this is still the fall, right? Because the winter doesn't really officially start until December 21st. I know many of us feel that this is winter now, but yeah. And we get any precipitation? Well, tomorrow, 80% chance of rain, but not until a week from this Wednesday when there's a chance of 30% rain. So who knows? It fluctuates, right? It's how it works. Oh, it might be nice to be in Sydney right now. It's 20 degrees C. Okay. Well, that'll come soon enough. All right. So that's how things are happening in the weather forecast. So let's talk about what's happening in the world. Okay, yesterday on Stephen and Walter Live, we talked about why young people are stupid. Okay, and we gave the reason. And when I said stupid, I mean a lack of intelligence, really, or a lack of knowledge, basically, about the world and how easily they are sucked in to things. And there was many reasons we discussed yesterday for that. And, well, it's not just young people that are getting sucked in, is it? You would think older people, like people in my age bracket, we've had many years of experience being on this planet. We should be able to, make a sound decision as to what's real and what isn't real, or what the truth is or what the truth isn't. Well, we do struggle with that as well. And one of the main factors for that is the media. We're being sucked in by them because we can't trust the media anymore. Now, I am sure this isn't news to any of you, especially any of you that are in my generation. We remember a time when a news reporter came on the air on a TV set, sat behind a desk, and I am purposely using the word he because most of them were men. Eventually, as time went on, many more women were involved in the news, but they sat behind their desk. They were wearing a jacket. They were wearing a tie. Everything was looking very formal, and we believed what came out of their mouths. And really, there wasn't any reason why we shouldn't at that point in time, because if you switch the channel over to another news program with the same story of the day, they were pretty much the same thing. There wasn't a lot of difference between the story or the information that we were getting. We were all taught that we could trust the news, that the news and news on TV, news in newspapers was factual, and that journalists were supposed to be objective, not subjective. So we believed it. And I think, rightly or wrongly, we had a much better concept of what was going on in the world. But given today, with the technology that we have, the internet, streaming TV, our cell phones, email, websites, all of this stuff, we are bombarded with information. And now it is very difficult to tell what is real and what is not real, because now it's a money-making thing. I mean, it always was because they had ads on TV, but not like it is today. Everybody wants a piece of us. They want our attention so they can sell us something. And the news is one of the best ways or one of the best sources of sucking in consumers. All you have to do is turn on your computer, go to a news site, and you'll get a little piece of news here, and then you'll get a big ad here, then news, a little ad here, and off to sidebar, an ad here. And they'll have clickbait. They'll all have titles to redirect you to another website. Three-headed gopher was found in Farmer John's backyard eating his dog. Stuff like that. Now, we all know that that's probably not true, but we'll click on it anyways, won't we? Just to make sure. And then they start spinning some other story when we get there or whatever. The big serious issues in the world today, we cannot trust the media to report on those fairly. Take, for example, conflicts in the Middle East right now. We're seeing pictures of buildings being blown up. We see people with guns. We see people running to try and get on flights to get out of their countries. All of this kind of stuff. All of this is in the background as somebody in the foreground is reporting on the events of the day. Now, here's what they're really doing. I am not saying that those things are not happening, but maybe just they're being presented not in exactly the way they happen. One of the things I used to teach when I taught media in high school to high school kids was not to believe everything they saw. Just because it was on the internet or on TV did not necessarily mean that's exactly how things happened. The example I can give you is when they talk, say, about a car bombing, and you see this wreckage of a car with twisted metal, and they're going on about it, they don't tell you that that picture is a stock photo. What I mean by that is that picture was taken probably of a car bombing after the fact, but not necessarily the one they're talking about right then and there. This is old footage. They used to put up on your screen picture from file footage or something like that. I haven't noticed that lately. It may still be there, and I'm just so, I'm so used to seeing it, I don't see it anymore, if you know what I mean. But they used to say that, but I don't think they're saying that anymore. So they're not telling you that the pictures and the images they're showing you are exactly what happened right then and there with the story they're reporting. But your mind tells you that because we make a connection in our mind. He's talking about this. They're showing this picture. The two are the same. Not necessarily so. And of course, the news always picks on the things that they can sensationalize even more. So what is the truth? The problem is, people go off half-cocked into protests, all kinds of things like this, based on a minimal amount of knowledge. They weren't there. They didn't witness it for themselves. So in a sense, the news is just giving us hearsay. The other thing that makes the news very suspicious here is the footage, where they get their footage. How do journalists know to be in a spot just before there's a humongous crisis happening and get it all on film? They can't be. They don't know in most cases. They're there after the fact. But they have footage of what's going on because all of us carry a video camera in our pocket, our cell phones. We are in a day and an age where what we do best is record everything on our cell phone. And of course, news media gets their hands on that footage and, well, just watch evening news and you'll see images provided by such and such. And it's like a website or something like that. It came from somebody's cell phone. They either sent it in or they were there at the time. The reporters seeked them out, got pictures. I don't think they have to do much seeking. I have a feeling that every news company in the world is inundated every day with pictures that people have been taking or video that people have taken of an event, hoping to see their name or get credit for that on a national broadcast. So, how do we know what we're seeing is the absolute truth? There's grains of truth in it, maybe even chunks, but it's not the whole story. So, how do we find out what the truth is? Well, first of all, you have to get your information from multiple sources and then piece it together for yourself. But I guess in what we talked about yesterday, the word common sense came up. And I think we're lacking that. We take things at surface value and get all upset about that. We need to stand back and think hard. The news, in a sense, the media in general, are very professional scam artists. They're trying to make us believe something for some reason. And they will manipulate us using a variety of techniques in order to do that. We just need to step back and say to ourselves, wait, is this probable? Could this actually happen? Who's telling this story? Do they have a hidden agenda? And it may not always be that hidden. And for example, are they members of a certain cultural group? Are they members of a certain political ideology? Are they members of a certain religious group? These are all things that create bias. And yes, news people, news companies have bias. They're not supposed to, but they do. So the next time you're getting your dander up because of something you saw in the news, take a breath, think about it, and question it. Question it. If we don't question these things, then we're becoming mindless little robots that are being manipulated from above, and we can't allow that to happen. So, yeah, I guess we just need to think. All right, let's move on to Products. Well, I don't have any new products, but I have something to discuss with you a little bit. And this has to do with my virus protection program that I subscribe to and have subscribed to for several years. Now, I mentioned this a week or two ago about a company called AVG. Now, I've been using their products for protection on my computer for quite a while, as I said, and for the most part, I've been very pleased with them. But then they had a breach. And some scammer, something, whatever, managed to hack their system, get data. Now, they reassured us, as all companies do when this happens, that, they didn't get anything too important. Well, even if they got my name or they got my email address, that's important to me, because you know what they do. When data gets breached, basically that's when you start getting all kinds of emails about all kinds of things that are telling you that your computer's about to blow up if you don't call them, ransomware, sending nasty stuff to other people with your name on it and you don't even know these people, all kinds of things like that. The world is full of scammers, and we know that. So AVG apologized for this, said it was nothing to worry about, and to compensate us, they were offering us 6 months of a program that would show us what websites have our information, have managed to glean data from us. I don't know how that's going to work. I have it now. They gave me 6 months free. I tried it. Yeah, there's several websites out there, no surprise, that have been breached. They list the ones that have been breached. And possibly your data has gone to, nefarious sources. What's the solution? Well, they have a little button. Do you want to change your password? That's their protection. I don't think so. Not only that, but AVG owns this program. They made it sound like it was a third-party company, that they were generously paying for 6 months for all of their users to get on there. No, it's their own company. And when this 6 months is up, I am sure I'm going to get an announcement that I can continue my protection using this program at a lovely amount of money per month. Not happening. No, not impressed. I told them I'm not impressed. I wrote them a letter and went back about this whole situation. I said it wasn't enough compensation. They sent me an email back and said, well, they would extend my subscriptions that I have on their site by 6 months each. Well, okay, that was something. Kind of restored my faith in them, although I'm still cautious. But I went into my account a few days later to check out, because it has when my subscriptions need to be renewed. They did not reflect what I thought they should reflect for getting 6 months more. So I have written to them again about this. In fact, they encouraged me to write to them if I had any questions or problems. So I have. I've sent them 2 emails last week. Now, I sent one tail end of last week, and I sent one over the weekend. So I'll be checking this, and I'll be sending them another one, and I'll be sending them another one, and I'll be sending them another one until I get my satisfaction under them. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. So, although this is my section on new products, this isn't a new product, but down the road, I may have to investigate possibly other companies, because this one is a little suspicious. I also suspect that the people that originally owned this company sold it, and I think they sold it to some company that's located in, guess where? India or Nigeria. And sorry to say it, but both of those places are infamous for their scams. So that could be a new thing that the scammers are doing. Buying up other companies. Wouldn't that work well? A scammer company buys up a company that is supposed to be protecting you against scammers, and they're just scamming you more under that guise. Yeah, the world is a strange place. Okay, so I have been doing bunch of things on the 3D printer. Well, actually, it's one thing, but let me find my picture for you so I can show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. I've been making gnomes again. Of course I am. But these gnomes, you'll notice on the top, have a little ring on them. They're meant to hang on a Christmas tree. Now, I am not going to use them for that purpose, and I've made about, well, since I took this picture, I've made more. I've made about 25 of these, and I intend to attach them to the bags that I'm making for the people at the retreat, and the little gift bags I've made for the ladies at Ultimate Sewing. They're just fun. They're just cute. They're just me. They're gnomes, you know. Do I have an obsession? Oh, yeah, I have a major obsession. So that's all I've been up to on the 3D printers right now. So what about the grow lights? Well, let me just find pictures here I want to show you. Okay, here you go. Nothing. Well, not true. Walter cleaned those pots out underneath grow light number 1, and he has planted lettuce, and I'm not sure what else he's planted. He might have planted some peppers in there as well, so we're waiting for those to start coming up to the surface, and away we go. Meanwhile, oops, there's Santa. We don't want him. Meanwhile, he cleaned out the lettuce, the old stuff, put in new lettuce, and so we've got a new crop coming, and a new crop of basil as well. By the way, the little sticky paper there with all the little carcasses on it, yeah, when you grow, do things under grow lights, you do get little flying bugs, little gnats. And they are as annoying as hell. Where do they come from? The soil. The soil itself is supposed to be, I don't know, treated or sterilized. You know, we buy it at Canadian Tire. It's, you know, potting soil kind of stuff, meant for what we're doing, and that's where they come from. So we have these little sticky things. We find sprays don't really work, and some of you have suggested other concoctions like white vinegar and Dawn soap or something like that and give it a spray around. We find that that doesn't really work either with them. So the best solution we have right now are these little sticky pieces of paper. Problem is, they're so sticky, you reach in to cut some lettuce or basil, and if you brush against one of them, you have it stuck to your hand too. But yeah, it's very annoying, but what can you do? I enjoy my salads, okay, from what I've grown. Now, these are the pepper plants, kind of a little bit of blurry picture here. This one in the foreground, that's not looking very good. I don't know if we're going to get anything more off that. We had peppers on it. We have used them since then. There is a flower right here, and there's another one here. I don't know if they're going to perk up and produce more or whether they're done. And either way, we've got new ones coming. But you can see we've got some yellow peppers here. Some are turning orange. And we've got our famous purple peppers. It's a little bit blurry. Sorry about that. In the background, which we have found if you leave them on the vine long enough, they start to turn color too, and eventually they go to green. So I leave the peppers on the vine for as long as I possibly can. When I see a pepper that's starting to look like, okay, might be getting just a teensy bit puckery on the skin, I pick it, and then we use that. So yeah, I said to Walter, we should have started the peppers earlier, while like during the summer, indoor ones too. We had the outdoor ones because they take about 80 days to, get to the size where they're, pickable. So that takes time. And that's sideways, that picture. Sorry about that. But basically, that's basil that's dying. This basil came from outside, and it is not doing well. Now, the other ones that I showed you a moment ago, they're doing fine, but we grew them, started them inside. These ones are coming from outside, so I don't know if they're going to survive or not. They're just right now, you don't want to be eating those. So we'll see. Okay, so yeah, that takes me to Blasts from the Past Trips. This is Melbourne. Melbourne? It's Melbourne. They don't say Melbourne, they say Melbourne. Melbourne, Day 7 in 2018.
Okay, so we just did a Walter and Stephen live from Melbourne about a few minutes ago. And we're out and about now on our last day in Melbourne, and we're headed towards the Contemporary Art Gallery. And we'll see what's there as well. And if you didn't catch Stephen and Walter live, then you can catch it on the replay. It should be up, so you can check that out. And we'll see what we see today. So this is inside the ACCA, which stands for Australian Contemporary something art. Oh, can we get one of those? What is it? Okay, so these are dresses that just say it all. What is that?
I think it's like an oyster that's left laying out in the sun.
It's kind of gross. Hey, hetero, get married because you can. So we're here at the Arbory, which is where we were last night. We're supposed to meet that person for drinks and everything, and we got stood up. So we've come here for lunch instead. It seems to be a very popular place, especially at night. So we'll see what the food's like. Walter's gone up to order it. The menu's really kind of limited. So once again, having a hamburger. I've had a lot of hamburgers and a lot of pizza since I've been here. So we'll see. This is just one of many names. Basically, operating teams on Sundays. So you know. This is a big department store. Devens? Sure to say it. Yeah. You don't feel like I'm trying to cut all those. shopping in Melbourne. Some kind of street festival. It's a Okay, so we've pretty much done Melbourne now. So what is the plan for tomorrow
Pick up the car
at 8?
and eat. Well, probably won't get it right at 8. So, well, 8-ish.
8-ish.
So they don't open till 8. So
Oh. And then we're driving to where?
we're driving west to eventually to get to Warrnambool. Warrnam. I think it's Bool.
And how far are we from that?
About 3.5, 4 hours. But first, we're going to stop at the 12 Apostles.
Mm.
Right?
That's those rocks.
That's those rocks. They have a visitor center and all other stuff.
Mm.
And then we'll take the coastal road from there to get to Warrnambool.
And so, what, we just have one night at Warrnambool, right?
Yeah, and then after that, we'll be traveling to Mount Gambier, right?
Okay.
And that's where they have a blue lake and a giant sinkhole.
Oh, can't wait for the sinkhole. That'll be fun.
And then we'll go to a place called Coonawarra.
Is that like the song? Coonawarra.
So what's coming up? Well, I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt today, even though it's -7. The reason being is later this morning, Walter and I are going off to get our 6th COVID shot. That was not an easy feat. I went online. It's supposed to be easy. It's done through all of our pharmacies, but we have a huge chain of pharmacies in Canada. There's one on every corner called Shoppers Drug Mart. They're owned by the Loblaws Corporation, which owns, one of the major grocery store chains across Canada, one of the top 3 that are gouging us to death on their prices, and just reported record profits in this quarter. Yeah, and yet they say they're not gouging us. But anyways, I digress. So I went online to Shoppers Drug Mart. It's easy peasy to book your appointment. Not so easy because you can't find any. They had nothing available. At our local Shoppers Drug Mart, the one closest to us, actually we have 3 that are within a 5-mile radius of us. All 3 of those did not have an available spot to book a shot until into January. Well, I kind of want it now because right now it's COVID flu season, kind of a thing. So I hunted. I did find a place. It's actually inside the pharmacy, inside a Great Canadian Superstore, they're called. This is owned by Loblaws, and Shoppers Drug Mart is owned by Loblaws. So they're there, and I was able to they had one time slot today available at 11:50. I booked the two of us into that time slot. Luckily, they allow you to book up to 6 people in one time slot. So I was able to book Walter in too, so the two of us can get it. So this morning, we're off to the grocery store to get a shot. I'm almost anticipating, and it wouldn't surprise me, we'll get there and they go, oh, we're sorry, we've run out of vaccine. Because that's what their story is. They don't have enough of them. Well, thank you, Ontario government. Ontario government, you had a shortage on all of these during the height of COVID. You said that would never happen again. You were well prepared. No, you're not. No, you're not. Well, So anyways, we'll see what comes of that. I really want to get my shot in my arm because we're coming up to the busy season, right? There's more people you may come into contact with. And I got Stephanie's retreat in, at the tail end of December and down in Georgia. And I really don't want to pick up COVID just before we're going to that and then have to cancel. So, yeah, I want this shot in my arm. We've had the other ones. We've had the flu shot. I've had pneumonia shot. Haven't had an RSV, but my doctor says I don't really need it, and that's fine by me. And what was the other shot I got? Oh, I got shingles, too. I got all the shingle shots, too. I've had more needles plunged into my body in the last year than I've had my whole life, I swear. Talk about human pincushions. But anyways, that's something to look forward to today. And I can't think of anything else coming up. We did have Pop-Up Sew Day this past Saturday. That was fun. I got a lot done. We had a good crowd. We had about 36 people at the height of it. That's pretty darn good. And when am I going to have the next Pop-Up Sew Day? Don't know. But it will be probably in early part of December again for that. You'll be first to know when I figure it out. Okay, and just as a final note here, I've been looking at my statistics and things on YouTube, and you know that I sort of set a goal, which really is not in my hands, to have 10,000 subscribers by December 31st, by the end of the year. Well, I'm on my way. I'm at just over 9,500 right now, so that's pretty good. Thank you for those of you that decided to subscribe to my channel. Those of you that haven't but come here on a regular basis, please do subscribe. Help me out. I don't usually beg for subscriptions, and I'm not begging right now. I'm just letting you know that would be a real thrill. Am I going to promise you something if I get to my goal? No. Sorry. I know other ones do, but what can I probably will do something special to mark the occasion. I don't know what that is going to be. I have to get to that number first before, I do anything. I'm not going to do a fabulous giveaway because I can't afford the shipping. So, yeah, but it'll be something. I don't know what. But anyways, if you've got friends, family, pets, have them subscribe. What the heck? Yeah, whatever. And just to let you know, because it kind of blew my mind because I never really looked at it before. It tells you when you go to the site, on anybody's site, how many videos they have. I have over 1,800 videos. Now, mind you, I've been doing this for 11 years. I mean, it's been different over time. It has evolved. It has grown over time. The sad part of that is I may have 1,800 videos, but after 11 years, I only have 9,500 subscribers. Go figure. Well, as Walter says, it is a niche, because I focus a lot on quilting, of course, and that kind of thing. So, it's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine, whatever. But I just thought I'd share that with you, and I welcome new subscribers. I hope I don't scare you away. Yes, I'm opinionated. Yes, I'm a little crass at times. He says at times. And yeah, I am sure there are things that I say on any of my productions every week that probably get some people really pissed off with me. But doesn't that make it fun? You know, if it's all vanilla, it's vanilla. I prefer to go for Rocky Road, chocolate, Neapolitan. Okay, I hope you have a great week. Tune into Idiot Quilter tomorrow if you're interested in more information about the Bundles of Joy quilt and other things that I'm doing. And later in the week, on Friday, we'll have another episode of So Chatty, and we've got something in our brains right now that we want to talk about. We have to fill that out before So Chatty, and then of course Stephen and Walter live on Sunday. So hope you have a really great week. I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving to my American friends out there, and don't overspend on Black Friday. Okay, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.